Howdy y'all. Just waiting to see if the connection is stable. Just thought I'd pop on and say cheery hi. I'll just wait a minute because I know sometimes as it warms up the connection goes in and out. So it's me again, Daniel Catzmagick. Just thought I'd come and hang out with you all. It's evening here in the UK. I thought I'd come out on the decking. I thought at first that the glow from the kitchen would be enough to illuminate my lovely features, my lovely face, but it's too dark. But check this out. I've improvised a little studio here. It actually looks hilarious. I'll try and show it to you. So the phone, Magenta's phone right now. I've been thinking today about getting my own phone. I've improvised a little studio here. So the phone is on a garden chair, and I've made like a tower. So it's a garden chair, plastic box, garden ornament to prop the phone up looking at me. Then I put a towel on the garden ornament because I didn't want to get Magenta's phone all dirty. Then, because it was too dark, I went and got a really bright light like the one you use like when you're like working in a really dark environment, like looking down manholes or whatever. But then it was so crazy bright I had to diffuse it with a face cloth. So look, I'll try and show you. Yeah, I don't know if it'll come out. So no, it's still too dark. You can kind of see the tower, the box, the towel, ornament, and look, that's the light there, which was way too bright. It was just like a stage light. So I diffused it with a face cloth. So look at that, that's my improvised little studio. I was actually quite pleased with that. It's quite a romantic lighting. See, someone might think, oh, we spent ages trying to set up the perfect ambient lighting. I did. I spent almost 4 minutes doing this, and I'm quite pleased with it. So, hi friends, I just wanted to pop on just to give a few thoughts because there was a quirky little development in the novel just now. So, Lord Lemuria turned on his telly box one day, and there was a broadcast from a famous chap, and his name is Prince Harold of Buckinghamshire, and he was making an address. It was like an introduction to an award ceremony, but he took the opportunity to voice some of his concerns about certain communities and people who were hesitant to sample the poisoned apples that were in the dark forest. And a lot of people love Prince Harold, so it was a bit disappointing. Lord Lemuria himself was on the fence about Prince Harold, but he understood that many people had great respect for him. So when Prince Harold of Buckinghamshire was speaking about poison apple hesitancy, he also suggested that communities, certain pockets of the village, the communities were being adversely affected by people who were peddling misinformation about the poisoned apples, and that their motivation, these people who were peddling misinformation about the poisoned apples, was to spread fear and hesitancy. But there was no other real elaboration on that. And I think in the novel, this has been seen again and again. And I thought it would be interesting if somewhere in the novel it was entertained that, okay, let's just say that there are certain characters in the village who delight in intentionally spreading disinformation. Now, if I was a character in the novel and I wanted to spread disinformation out of malice and out of negative motivation, that would suggest that I knew the correct information, But I was such a supervillain, I thought, I'm going to spread disinformation. And my sole motivation here is to spread and encourage hesitancy and disarray and fear and chaos and people just getting all mixed up. Like, as if that's the purpose of me. I'm going to throw some misinformation into the mix and then just sit back and delight when it upsets and confuses people. And as far as I know, in the fictional world where this has all been happening, nobody has ever really entertained making perhaps an intelligent documentary or an extended news report in the town square about, okay, so there are these weird people who are poison apple hesitant. Let's look into that. What are people's reasons? What are people's motivations? And also the certain strange mages and wizards and witches who are supposedly spreading disinformation. What is their motivation with that? Because I'm reminded of an example from my real life, completely unrelated to the novel, about hesitancy. And almost like if you're hesitant to do a certain thing, it's almost like, well, you've got some mental block, you're suffering from some neurosis, some paranoia. So that's what happened in the novel with Prince Harold. But I'm reminded somewhat of myself because today I was at a shop and I've been thinking about CBD oil. Now with CBD oil, I don't really know that much about it, and it seems to be everywhere right now. And I didn't know it was gaining popularity to the degree that it has. And I thought I might like to try it just for, I understand there's a wide variety of uses, therapeutic uses. Like I say, I knew it was on the cards a couple of years back. I had no idea, because like I say, it hasn't been on my radar, haven't been following it, haven't been inclined to look into it. It's only because I've noticed more and more people are talking about it. I had no idea that there was such a vast array of products out there. So I was speaking to a lady in a shop about it, and she was telling me like the kind of dosages and the different uses and the different ways it can be prepared with like oil or capsules or powder or like lozenges and stuff. And it kind of threw me because, like I said, I don't really understand the whole interplay. It comes from the same plant and it's male and female and that. I know as a hippie it might be presumed that of course he knows about that substance, but it's just never really been on my radar. I really don't know that much about it, honestly. But the key point is I'm hesitant about CBD oil. But it's not really hesitancy. I'm being discerning. I'm trying to make a smart choice if it's something that would benefit me and exactly which product to take. So because I'm asking questions and I'm researching it and I'm unsure if I even want it, I guess you could say I'm CBD oil hesitant because I just don't know enough about it. I need to talk to people who've used it. I need to look at reviews. I need to learn more. I'm not just going to grab the nearest CBD oil product and put it inside me because I might have different tolerances to it than other people. So I'm just drawing a parallel. Me being hesitant or discerning or wanting to learn more about CBD oil doesn't mean I am being a imbecile or I'm spreading disinformation by telling other people, hey, I'm not sure about this CBD oil stuff. No, that's me being a smart individual, I hope, that I want to make a decision that's right for me by looking at all the products that are available. So the parallel there is it reminded me somewhat of the fictional novel where Prince Harold of Buckonia suggested that lots of people were suffering from poison apple hesitancy due to misinformation from the naughty witches. Oh my goodness, what are they doing? Their dark and nefarious deeds. It's so funny. It's so funny. All the twists and turns in this novel. It's cute. It's cute. You can only laugh. You can only laugh, really. It's all silly. It's all a divine comedy. Divine comedy. Hopefully it'll have an ending in paradise, just like in the Divine Comedy by Dante. And then one more little thing I wanted to talk about. This doesn't really bother me. It's more whimsical than anything. So as Magenta Pixie's PA and webmaster, as well as a occasional content creator like now, one of my duties is I look for mentions of Magenta Pixie on the internet, just to see if anybody's like posted an article or shared some of her content. And, it's all good, just to see what's happening, or opportunity to make new connections with people. And today I typed in Magenta Pixie in the last day, and this video popped up on an alternative video platform, not the mainstream one beginning with Y. And it's a guy I've seen before. And once again, it's this. I think it's a really fashionable insult right now, because I've seen it more and more and more. And this was like in the headline of his video title: false light. False light again. It's like the go-to statement. You are false light. You're channeling Nephilim. You're channeling demons. You're being tricked. False light, false light, false light. I suppose it's such a powerful, loaded statement. And it's funny because it just got me thinking of like doing a sketch about two people who were just in constant debate. False light this, false light that, and you can never disprove that you're not false light, and you can constantly accuse the other person they are false light. And also, I was also thinking, like, I didn't even watch the video. I literally watched 3 seconds of it on mute, just to see this guy's face contorted in sarcasm and dismay, I guess, as he was breaking down some of the points of one of my lady's good works. I half thought about, you think in your head, I would never actually do it, because you can get into the trap where you think, if I can construct the perfectly worded and eloquent response, that will really send ripples. But no, because then you're just locked into constant debate, and it's just a game of intellectual ping pong, which is satisfying to a degree, but the problem is it's never ending. Never ending. It goes on forever. And that's not to say, it's always good to just be silent, because I'm doing this thing now. But it's about, like, there's no fight here. This is the thing, there's no fight. The fight is in this guy's mind. False light. And anyway, if this guy has decided to make a video like that, I think it says more about him than it does anyone, because I looked at his other videos thinking that maybe this is just an occasional rant, but no, all of his videos are just him furious and contorted with dismay and anger, and just like he has got this mission to expose all these people. And because he doesn't like someone, he's doing an exposure video, and that's mission accomplished. I could do an exposure video right now on some random. I could just tell you, right, Abraham Lincoln exposed, and I can just make up loads of random things about, I don't like the way he wore his hat, and I didn't like his accent, and there's this old wood engraving of him, like, with a funny expression, and then there you go, that's my exposure video. I've done an exposure video on Abraham Lincoln, therefore you now have to think differently, and I want you to share my video, Abraham Lincoln exposed, the strange, weird, hat-wearing, funny dude from the US who has supposedly been celebrated all these years and memorialized. But no, you need to drop all that, because I've just exposed him by me having an opinion on him which is different from other people, and the opinion is I don't like him. So there. I mean, I'm all for intelligent discussion and analysis and difference of opinion. Of course, that's how we progress in any area, especially, what's a good word for it? Especially healthcare. You need to bring everyone to the table, throw some ideas around, break it down. Don't just throw it away and say that's nutty. It's all good, but you do it in a respectful way. And you try to keep the swearing to a minimum and the sarcasm, because once you do that, if you feel you have to increase the volume of your voice, use sarcasm and make personal remarks about someone's appearance, to me, there's no debate there. Because I know when we're at school and college and high school and stuff, as a student, you're often encouraged to join these debating societies as an extracurricular activity and throw ideas around regarding a whole different myriad of topics, because it's it helps you develop as a young person to take ideas and look for flaws in other people's thinking, or identify when they're referencing incorrect or outdated information. But if you carry that on into your adult life without seasoned wisdom, and the be-all and end-all of everything is to just win a debate, as if the opposing party or parties are adversarial, then it might be satisfying at the time, especially if you're doing it in front of a live audience, to make these amazing points, beat someone intellectually with your clever wordplay and references. But after the debate is said and won, supposedly, and you've outwitted them in a game of mental dexterity and combat, what is the legacy? It just leads to bad feeling and potentially more division. And that's not to say that I have an alternative way of constructing or dissecting a certain tricky or controversial topic, but respect. You cannot enter into anything with anyone deciding that they are wrong in advance and passing everything they say through a strange filter of misinformation in your own mind. You want to talk about misinformation? Sometimes the misinformation is the person who is looking for problems that don't exist, looking for differences that don't exist, and finding insult and offence everywhere. Because I thought about, it might be fun, I don't know, but like I said, I wouldn't want to do it just for fun. I would only want to do it if it was useful. But I half thought about writing to a few people who diss my good lady, and just saying, look, I've known this lovely lady for quite a long time now, and I'm fond of her enough that I actually married her. So if you want some inside information, if you want to cross-examine me and meticulously analyse my body language and my vocal tone, maybe I could do a live debate or discussion with them, and they could throw any question at me, because it wouldn't throw me, because I feel like I don't even need to prepare. I don't need to prepare. If you're truthful and authentic, people can talk to you, and you don't need to prepare a smart answer. All that's going to come out is authenticity and truth anyway. I'm not like trying to promote myself as like the most authentic, truthful guy, because other people could look at me now and go, ooh, well, that's the beginnings of a charming cult leader. That's what they do. They make themselves really personable, really balanced. I'm just going off on one now. I'm just kind of second guessing what people might think or say. I'm just having fun. I'm having fun, but I'm also just trying to be. What am I trying to do? See, how could I be a cult leader? Because if I was on a roll with some great monologue, I might just get distracted by it. Oh, look, there's a moth, and then I'd be like, I'd just wander off, and then like I'd forget what my original point was. So sometimes I'm on a roll, but I'm a human being, so I'm just having fun. I'm just having fun with you all. So that's all I really wanted to say. This is just going to be a short little live stream. So thank you to Magenta. I said I would go and I'd be very respectful and careful, And because I love the to engage with people live. It's lovely, and I feel it's good for me, and it's just lovely to connect with people in real time. And I love doing the videos, sometimes goofy, sometimes serious, but doing something live, I just think it's great, because I never thought I'd have the confidence to do something like this, and I really am humbled. And I've got so much love, because you've all helped to build me up, and I think that's what it's all about. And I know I've said this before, but if anybody feels like they want to do a video, make some content, but they're too shy. I've been so shy in my life, and it's been horrible, and I felt like I missed out on all the good stuff growing up. And it's only in retrospect I can see that little things were coming together in a particular unique way. So anybody who's just keen to make some content, it's just put yourself out there. It doesn't matter if you seem goofy, if you seem shy, if you seem awkward, if your hair's weird, if you've got a weird voice, weird little foibles that we all have. It's all a refining process, and once you go and share part of yourself with people, even if you are shy, people respond to that, because they can think, well, that guy was shy, that guy was a bit of a dork, but he's still done that. And it almost gives people permission to do the same and rise above their own limitations as people, as humans, as fallible humans, and just jump in and think, what the heck? If you look at any early performance from any well-known person, you're not going to see a perfected, refined, whatever it is, whether it's music or dancing or sportsmanship or writing or public speaking, but and that's part of the beauty. You see how they developed, and it's amazing. It's amazing, and it's only once you've got on the path you can look back and see how far you've come. But if you're not even willing to take that first step on the first stone, the years of your life are just going to go by, and you'll think, I could have done some stuff. And that's not to say regret what's happened if you haven't done anything and you felt you wanted to get involved. It's use that. Think that was my preparatory time. I'm not saying it has to be like all fireworks, like, oh my God, this is the day I'm going public. I'm just saying just tiny little gestures, tiny little connections with people, tiny little practices. If you're not confident enough, just do a little video for yourself and play it back and look at it, not like you're worrying what you look like. Try and maybe record yourself talking on a topic you're passionate about, like a book or anything, or the history of a musician you love, and just record it and then just put it away for 3 days, because when you come back to it, you can look at it fresh as if you are a different viewer and you're not yourself, and then you can intelligently see, well, that worked, that didn't, you were meandering there, you stuttered there, you looked goofy there. And above all, do not be afraid of uncomfortable pauses or silences, because that is often what gets people in trouble at conversations at parties and stuff like that. I used to be awful with that, thinking I have to constantly entertain this person, appear charming and intelligent and good looking, thinking that they are judging the heck out of me. When you meet a new person, chances are they are just as hung up on the impression they're making as you are. But if you can roll with that, you might find that you actually end up having an organic, healthy discussion, and if appropriate, you can even bring into it sharing about your own individual anxieties. I'm not trying to tell you I know how to talk to every person. I don't. Like I said, I've been painfully shy. Sometimes I feel more confident than other days. I think the past year and a half or so, it has had positive effects in the sense that it has made a lot of us reassess what is really important. And to me, I think the only thing that's really important is connecting with other people. I mean, what is there to do? What else is there to do, really, that's got any lasting value? Everything we do is about other people. You can think, oh, well, I don't really like other people. I just want to live my life, keep my head down. But everywhere you go, the house you live in, how did that come about? From people, all the people involved in producing the building materials, the craftsmanship, the architects. You can go for a walk in nature, but you've also got to think, well, there's park rangers, there are heritage societies that maintain this site. You go to the shop and choose organic food or well-crafted and created food. You've got to think of all the intricate steps. That's people who are passionate about their craft, bringing all that together for you. So you can say, I don't like people, but if you say, I don't like people, then you'd have to just live in a void with no physical things whatsoever, no internet, no TV, no house, no food, no water. All of these things involve people, and love is what drives any functioning society. And we're all trying to figure it out. It's imperfect, but it's all a refining process, baby. God, I do sound like a hippie. See? If I had CBD oil, who knows what would happen? Because here's the thing, I didn't even know. I thought CBD oil, is it the male or the female bit? I can't even remember. Somebody tried to explain it to me, but like I said, I was just thrown. Sometimes I am a bit of a dimwit. I thought it was non-hallucinogenic. Sorry, not non-hallucinogenic, what's the word? Psychoactive. It was non-psychoactive, but this person said that it did give them a buzz, and that one of their friends, it was like hit them like wow. So I've got no frame of reference. I really don't know about this CBD oil stuff. Actually, Magenta Pixie, she bought me a bath bomb at Christmas, and it says there's CBD oil. Stuttering now. It says it's a CBD oil bath bomb. So I guess you absorb it through your skin or whatever. I don't know what amount is in there, but I haven't had that yet. But yeah, I don't know what to expect. So if anybody wants to email me some good information about CBD oil or decent products, I'll look into it. But like I said, I don't even know if I want or need it. It's just I've noticed that more and more people are talking about it, so it seemed worth investigating. But yes, I'm CBD oil hesitant. I'm so sorry. I need to see a therapist, and that's to compare myself to the silly novel thing. Okay, so that's all I'm going to talk about today. I'm going to look back at some of the comments in a moment because I'm learning how to use the phone and all that. Thank you so much for all the love hearts. God bless you. Mwah. I love you all. I love you all. You're truly my family. You are true warriors and goddesses of love and light. Peace and love, baby. Peace and love. Just on a final note, before I read out some of the comments, though, just a reminder, if you ever get a message supposedly from Magenta Pixie offering you a reading or asking you for money, it's fake. It's phony. Magenta Pixie is not currently available for readings, and she would never approach you directly anyway. So never ever think that is actually authentic. They're phony. They're naughty little scam artists, and they should be thoroughly ashamed of themselves. And if their mummy finds them, they should give them a shorp? I just made a new word. I meant to say they should get a short, sharp spanking upon the posterior for being so naughty. It's just not good behaviour to scam people. It's not good behaviour. Even if you get away with it in this realm, it's going to have repercussions. It's not worth it. Don't be a little scammy person. It's just silliness. Come on, grow up. Don't scam. So no, never think that a message from Magenta offering you a reading in exchange for money is real. It's not. It's fake. Silly, fakey people. Okay, let's look at some of the comments, man. Look, as I grow in confidence with the phone, I can actually use it without goofing it up. Wow, oh my god. You've all been just talking at me the whole time. Do you know what? Only thing that makes me sad is after you end the live stream, I've got no idea how to look back at the comments. It's just like they all vanish. If anybody knows a way to actually look at the comments after the live stream has ended so I can actually take the time to properly read it, please let me know. I'm just going to look back. So, loads of love. Let's see what some of the people are saying here. So, let's have a look. All these lovely people, and I can see all your lovely faces with your profile picture. Honestly, it makes me feel so happy. Okay, right, so somebody's written Alien Not 427. Without a hierarchy, there is no paying homage. So I think that was talking about one of the characters in the novel. Okay. Crystal Destiny 82 says, I've tried CBD gummies. They seem to be calming, but not sure if it's just a placebo effect. See, I've heard this before. Somebody's taken some stuff and they're just like, didn't feel anything. So yeah, that's a pending thing. The same person, Crystal Destiny, also said that there also seems to be a massive markup on CBD too. I noticed that because I saw this whole range of products, and the pure form in just a little bottle that size of drops, it was like £112. I'm like, what? Okay, so what else we got? Johanna H. Hyseni says, I never dreamed I would live in a horror movie. I must have dreamed, though. Oh my goodness, I know what you mean. In fact, we bought some incense today, and it was like you could get 4 different boxes for like £2 or something, and Magenta only picked up 3, so she sent me back to go and pick out another fragrance. And I was looking for some really nice frankincense, but I noticed when it actually said zombie repellent incense. It was just like a novelty item. Once I got it home, it's just like lovely regular incense. But yeah, I got some zombie repellent incense. How cool. All right, Crystal Destiny again. Magenta has been spot on with many of her predictions, though. She gave some good advice navigating these times. That's my lady. That's him, lady. That's my lady. I mean, sorry, it's quite late. I'm a little bit tired. Wait, what we got here? Yeah, all right. Commander Nuta wrote, yeah, it's like, do you want to heal 4 people in a video call or spend 4 hours replying to haters? Yeah, it's all about like, where do you put your energy? You don't need to constantly justify yourself to people who don't like you, because if the first time you've come across someone online, they're punking you out, it's like, well, they're always going to punk you out. If you've actually wasted your time making a horrible, misguided video just full of your own vile opinion about someone, when like why would that person ever be able to restore themselves in your mind? If you've decided you don't like me, it's not my job to convince you to like me. It's like, I'm sorry, buddy. Move on. Like, if you don't like me, that's cool. I've got. I will naturally gravitate to all the people I do want to hang out with. Bella Tirana the America wrote, "Love you, Catzmagick. I love you. I do. I love you more than you know, man." Oh look, Salmon Orlin put, "You are so in your Arthur, Daniel." Wow, like Camelot, and all the famous tales of the Round Table. When we were in Glastonbury recently, I was actually looking at some of the original Arthurian tales, a big compendium of that. I was thinking about getting the book of that to really buff up on it, because they've always really, really intrigued me. What else we got here? The world, Commander New to put, the world needs more light cult leaders. And a little laughy face. Yes. What else we got here? We love you. I love it when people say they love me. See, look, if I was a cult leader, I'd say, give me your energy. Give me your love. I take your love. It's my power. I sustain only because of your love. But no, I take your love and I bounce it right back at you, and we just create a big sphere of love, and then we just share the love around. Have some love, man. Have some love, baby. Peace and love. It's all good. You can intellectualize this stuff and debate it until the cows come home. You can draw a big, complicated diagram and talk about 16 million different dimensions, man. But it all just comes back to the same thing, man. And that's love, sweet love. The sweet expression, the indefinable concept of love is so easy to feel, but to actually explore it in words, poets and musicians and artists throughout history have tried to express it and encapsulate it in a creative form. But how can you contain something as wonderful as love in words? It's a feeling, baby. It's a feeling, and it transcends space and time and reality. You see what I'm saying? If I actually had some psychoactive substance, who knows what I'd come out with? I don't even know. Maybe it would be a good idea. Okay. Right. Okay. Commander Newton's written, and people got horrible memory. My childhood bullies don't even remember they bullied me. I had a conversation with them as adults. They apologised and told me they didn't know why they did it. So I've had that experience before. People I've bumped into like a few years after school, and they're like, "All right, mate, how you doing?" And I'm looking at them and I say, "You were awful to me at school. You walked past me, you punched me in the arm, throw stuff at me in the playground for no particular reason," and they've tried to brush it off and say, "Oh, we were just young, we were just kids," as if like you're supposed to like accept that as some kind of explanation. I've never really gone for that when people say, "Oh well, they were young, I was young, I didn't know what I was doing." Come on, man. We've all got a moral compass. Kids can be punks, but they know they're being punks. It's just like they haven't got the skill set to really contemplate just how hurtful they're being sometimes, or the consequences. But you can't just say, "Oh, I was young, I didn't know what I was doing." There's a moral compass, man. C.S. Lewis wrote about this. The author of the Chronicles of Narnia, C.S. Lewis, who is also a massive, prolific Christian scholar of his day, and he discussed all about good and evil, and the problem of pain in the universe and in the world, and all the moral dilemmas we have. But it's like even when people are having an argument, they're still trying to take a stance for right or wrong. We all have a moral compass. Some of us get too in the ego, and that I think that's one of the trickiest things when you're having a conversation and it does turn into a debate. After all, you can lose focus and think, I just have to sustain and defend my original stance, and then that's when it becomes a competition, because it's like even if you sense that you're wrong and your opinion may have been misplaced or misguided, if you're just going to be stubborn and say, I'm going to hang on to my original position, my original opinion, my original paradigm because I want to win, then that's just unevolved, really, isn't it? It's just silly. If you go somewhere and you meet someone and they change your mind, you don't have to be embarrassed. You don't have to think, damn, they got the better of me. Damn, that means everything I've been thinking for years is garbage. If you just stubbornly hang on to it and go, no, I believe I'm right. But you're always going to get that bit of conscious saying, just a minute, there's something I could learn here. And even if it is embarrassing, even if that person takes you down a peg or two, learn from it. This is why I feel like I could do a conversation with anybody who's punking my good lady out, because I've got no agenda there. I've got nothing bad I feel to defend. It's like I could roll with any question, because it is. And if somebody says something to me, now I know some other people are different. It's like, for example, if somebody said to me, "You're stubborn," and I didn't believe it because I don't think I am stubborn, it wouldn't offend me. Whereas some people might say that, if somebody accused someone else, you're stubborn. I'm not. How dare you call me stubborn? I'm not stubborn. That's really upset me. I can't believe they call me stubborn. Whereas me, it's like water off a duck's back. Somebody said, "Oh, you're a stubborn person." I'd just be like, "No, I'm not. I'm not. That's inaccurate. That's not true. There's no truth there." Whereas if somebody said to me, "Oh, you're indecisive," I would be like, yeah, I can see that. Sometimes I am indecisive. I do need to work on that. But I wouldn't get offended. That's the difference. I wouldn't get offended. Nobody can say something horrible to me and say, "Oh, you're." It's like when somebody randomly said to me, "Oh, you're on Magenta's channel. Get your own channel. #MeToo. #MeToo movement." I was like, what? That's completely random, suggesting that I'm this overbearing husband, guys. Magenta, I am using your channel today. I'm just like a male chauvinist controlling pig. I was like, that's so random. So it didn't wind me up at all. It just confused me when I think, #MeToo. because I'm on Magenta's channel. I'm only here, it's a complimentary venture. I hope that we've got going here, and we run past each other what our next our project is, or what we want to do. So that's why I say that wouldn't wind me up at all. It's just like that they've just completely plucked that out of thin air. It means nothing to me, so it doesn't wind me up. Let's look at some more comments here. Okay. All and None Matters, that's a cool name, wrote, I had this all my life, brother. Thank you for all that you are and you do. Oh, bless you, man. You're cool, my kind of dude. Okay. Some people send me some information about CBD oil stuff. Commander Nutu, what's your magic name? Sir Pixie. Oh, that's kind of cool. But I'm digging Catzmagick, and the weird thing is, that's kind of become my magical name. But originally that was an email address I had, and I've kind of used that with different emails for years now. And I was Catzmagick before I even knew Magenta, and before she was even Magenta Pixie, because she originally picked that out as a cute and whimsical and creative YouTube name. She didn't actually know that would become her actual magical stage name kind of thing. But yeah, I was Catzmagick before Magenta Pixie. There was Catzmagick. It sounds like some updated gospel or something. What's this say? Okay. Somebody's giving me advice on saving the live stream so I can read all these great comments later. Lots and lots of stuff. Lots of love. Lots of that. Hey. Okay. Oh, okay. So Magenta Pixie has been watching me. My beautiful bride, Magenta Pixie. She's been here watching me this whole time. And she wrote, come on, man. There's never a reason not to say, come on, man. In fact, I done it intentionally in a supermarket yesterday. Because for a while, the novelty was wearing off because I was overdoing it. But you need to wait for the right time. And that's not to say constantly be in anticipation of an opportunity to say, come on, man. But you'll know when it naturally comes about. It's because we were in a supermarket. And we always go down the tasty treats aisle, and usually there's lots of healthy treats. You've probably seen, like gluten. Oh, it paused for a minute, but it's come back now. Yes, we were in the supermarket and we were looking at all the healthy treats, gluten-free and whatnot, and organic. Unfortunately, though, you've probably noticed this. You can have this false faith that everything there must be really healthy, because it's all in the same section, and you pick it up and it's still got the main ingredient is sugar. So it will say like vegan, but you're looking at it and it's still like basically just garbage because it's mostly sugar. And Magenta accidentally picked a couple of those up of this make we really like, and most of the time they're really healthy, and they're sweetened with apple juice or coconut nectar or something. But this particular one she picked up, it was sugar. I said, look, you need to check the ingredients. This one has sugar in it. It's the other one which is healthy. And she's like, oh, it'll be all right, just this once. And it was the perfect opportunity. And I just, at the top of my voice, just went, come on, man! And like, people turned around momentarily, not because they recognised the phrase, but just because some jerk saying, come on, man, really loud to his woman. And yeah, and somebody shouted, hashtag me too. No. See, look, it's all getting good. I know when to stop punking out my woman. Oh look, Magenta Pixie's friend, punking out your good lady. Who's that then? Oh look. Oh, okay. There's some weird banter getting on here. Sorry, somebody's saying. Yeah, Magenta Pixie's saying get your own phone. I might have to do that. I've mentioned before, I've got a really old school phone. I love this technology, but part of it I don't like. I don't want to own a big rectangle, because how can that sit in your pocket comfortably? I was talking to somebody in a shop the other day. I guess the technology has evolved little by little. People don't even think of it phones got bigger and bigger and bigger and more advanced, and then you put it in your back pocket, and that you don't even I can't get past it. I think having a big rectangle this size in your pocket, I would always be conscious it was there. It'd be enormous, but you've probably seen, and like I say, I'm not promoting it because I'm on the fence whether I want this stuff. I am smartphone hesitant. It's an illness. What can I do? Maybe there's some tablets for it. Maybe CBD oil will cure me of my smartphone hesitancy. But there's a new product out, and I was looking at it today. It's called a Flip. I can't remember who makes it. Samsung, I think. So it's like a regular phone, but it actually flips over, and it is actually more compact than most. So I'm really on the fence thinking about getting that. And I asked them, could I put it in my pocket, just a dummy model they had in the shop, and I walked around the shop with it in my pocket like I'm trying on a new pair of shoes, because my motivation, I want a phone to be as small and light as possible. I don't want to be thinking about because it's like, I don't want to think, well, the phone is the main thing and I just happen to be the person carrying it around. I can't understand these people who want to have massive phones. Yeah, the screen is amazing, but like, where does it stop? Like, you're just walking down the street with your 64-inch TV under your arm, and it's like, it should complement you. I don't know, maybe I'm in the minority, but I just want a phone to be as small and light, and put it in my pocket, and it not just be jabbing into me. Maybe I am just fussy. Anyway, oh look, what's this? A user, Salmon Orlean. Daniel, thank you for holding the integrity. So much trickster energy around you. So much grace from you. It's good to be a little bit of a trickster. But as long as you're not doing it with malice, it's all good. And as long as you're having fun and you're not doing it to intentionally wind people up beyond their capacity to enjoy it. Because there are some people who don't like practical jokes or silliness, but I've got a massive reverence for all spiritual traditions, and I only ever do it out of respect and playfulness, because it's always important to play and just have fun. Okay. So I'm gonna say goodbye now. How long do I stay on? Where's the counter? See, I'm still learning this. It said, how long has this been on? I don't even know. Can somebody write to me and tell me how long was this broadcast? Because it was only meant to be 15 minutes. Just a minute, there's a little plus sign with a camera. I think, does that mean somebody wants to join me? See, I've done that once before, but I was about to wrap this up. Maybe next time. Okay. Can someone tell me how long this broadcast was? Hi Ollie, hi Amy. Thank you for joining me. I don't know if you've actually listened. That's a couple of friends of mine. They're saying hello to me, but I don't actually know if they actually watched me, or maybe I was just on in the background while they'd done something else. 29 minutes. Oh, okay, that's like a little episode or something. Thank you for that. Thank you, Kerry Cardelli. I love you all. You're fantastic, and may the love and peace and harmony of thought, our sweet Lord Yeshua HaMashiach, and the love and blessings and promises of Yahweh, Psalm 35, Psalm 91. Go and read them and ponder them, especially Psalm 91. It's my most favourite psalm in the whole world. And there's a house nearby that's number 91, and every time I walk past it, I actually just touch the number on their wall, because I just love the number now, 91, because of Psalm 91. Go and read Psalm 91. That's my homework. Go and read Psalm 91 and just consider every line and just let it sink into your soul. It will just like, it's something else. It really is. It's supernatural. Okay, so love and peace, everyone. I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. Thank you for joining me. And I extend love from Magenta Pixie as well. And it's all a fantastic family of light that we got going on here. So peace and love, and I'll catch y'all soon. Yo. I should have learnt how to end the call before I done that. So, oh man, this is different. Oh, it's the cross. Okay, I'll do it again. So peace and love. Do. And yeah, baby. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm out of here. Peace. I don't even know if it's off or not. I'm not off. Cross. Yes, I want to end it. Now I've clicked the right button. Catch y'all later. Peace.